Welcome to IELTS. Today I am going to give you a brief introduction to IELTS examination. IELTS International English Language Testing System has been designed for assessing the skills of language. We know English is lingua franca. It has been spoken all over the world. New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the USA, the UK and Ireland are some countries where English is spoken as mother tongue. And other countries like Asian continent or the countries which belong to Asian continent and that of African do not have English as their mother tongue. For the people who aspire to move to these countries, particularly to English-speaking countries, have to undergo these examinations for the purpose of higher studies and also for migration and also for permanent residency. Let me explain in brief or in detail what exactly is this examination. Once again, let me repeat the full form of this. IELTS is International English Language Testing System. International English Language Testing System. It was established in the year 1989 and it is jointly managed by, to some extent I would rather say, it is supervised or monitored by University of Cambridge Local Examination Syndicate. We call it as UCLS. Or rather, I would rather prefer to say CELA, Cambridge English Language Assessment. And it is conducted, the examinations are conducted globally by two agencies. The first one is British Council. This is an agency, a private but supported by British government, an agency which is working in Britain, which has all the permissions or rather all the support from the British government, and this is the main agency who rather holds 70% of this examination along with IDP Australia. So let me say these are the two agencies who conduct IELTS examination. So it is managed by University of Cambridge Local Examination Syndicate, or rather I would say Cambridge English Language Assessment, and the examination is conducted by these two agencies, British Council and IDP Australia. Well, let me say what exactly is the purpose of this examination. As I have just given you a clue about it, let me repeat it once again. This examination is used for assessing a person's English skills, which is required for getting visas and for the purpose of migration as well as for the purpose of higher studies. So let me explain in detail what exactly is the module of the IELTS examination. IELTS examination has two different forms or two different modules. First one it is academic and the second one it is general. The term academic, as it indicates, academic version of IELTS is used for higher studies, and the second one it is general training, which has been used for migration and permanent residency. An IELTS examination is scored out of 9. For listening 9, writing 9, speaking 9, and for reading also 9, and the overall total score is 9. There is nothing like pass or failure in IELTS examination. Once a candidate finishes the examination, after 13 working days, he or she will be getting her or his scorecard, which we call as test report form, TRF, in which their scores in reading, listening, speaking and writing are given. And based on that, the universities would rather prefer whether the candidate has to be selected for higher studies or the person should be given permission for granting the visas and all. So this is in general about the IELTS examination. And in IELTS, as you already know, 4 sub-skills of the languages are tested. As everybody knows that every language in this world has 4 sub-skills. First one it is reading, second one it is speaking, next one reading and writing, listening. So these are the sub-skills of the language. So in order to understand the capability of a student in each of these sub-skills, they should be tested. And IELTS stands first in the group of English examinations conducted globally, along with that of OET, PT, CAE, FC, and CELPIP, and some other examinations as well. I would rather prefer to say IELTS stands first. It has been approved across the world in almost all the countries, including that of the USA, the UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. You can rather say it is in Singapore, Namibia, and also in Dubai. And the candidate who wishes to take the examination has to register the names either through British Council or through IDP Australia. Every month, there are either 2 or 3 examinations conducted globally. And students have to undergo certain training programs, probably up to 25 or 30 days of training programs, in order to understand the minute nuances of this particular test. Obviously speaking, as far as Asians are concerned, precisely speaking, let me speak about Indians, or rather, when you just make it into a compact one, rather I would love to take about the situations of that who belong to Kerala, one who belongs to Kerala. They need to undergo a training program at least for a period of 1 and 1.5 months of time, maybe 25 to 45 days of time, to which they need to undergo a rigorous training program in an institute where you find trainers with international expertise, or the trainers with enough understanding of this basic test, or trainers who keeps an extremely outstanding and extremely well settled, well crafted knowledge in English language. Only then the candidate will be able to understand what exactly the examination is, and only then the candidates will be able to understand whether they will be able to match with the skills which are required for these examinations. To be frank with you, I would love to say one more thing. This examination is different and a segregated one, or rather a deviated one from that of the conventional English examinations which we write while we study in schools or colleges. So we need to have a thorough understanding about it, to which definitely you need the help of an expert trainer, a person who has different strategies, who is able to supply you with different tips, different understanding about the language. So candidates should be very much careful about these things. Thank you. Before I conclude today's speech, let me tell you one more thing. As I have stated earlier, we have our WhatsApp number 94475 37000. You can contact in this number for any clarifications on your queries. For any further information, you can contact us. Thank you once again from SM IELTS Kannur. Thank you very much.